it wasn't actually a tradition.
Yes.
Until like about 200 years later.
Very good. Chelsea.
There's every year residents like some turkeys.
We save the turkey. We save the turkeys. Very good. And Riley.
That they didn't decide it on the first Thanksgiving. It had to go 3 years until they officially decided that.
Very good. Okay. Now we're going to learn more about it. The first Thanksgiving. Oh, I have to click it because I changed the click. These are the people involved. So we had the Pilgrims, who are a group of English Protestants who wanted to break away from the Church of England, and they were also known as the Pilgrims and Separatists. So does anyone else know who came over to America that we talked about before that wanted to seek freedom and religious? We talked about this. Ethan.
The explorers that discovered Florida.
Very good. And then we had the Indians, the Wampanoag Indians, and they settled the land for over 12,000 years. So they were there before the Pilgrims. And there's a picture of the Pilgrims and the Indians. And a fun fact is Pilgrims were not dressed in black and white like we think they are. They were very colorful, and they did not have the traditional belt buckles that was just made up by over the years. Okay, the voyage. It began in September 1620, and the Pilgrims rode on a ship called the Mayflower, which you guys knew. There were 66 days of traveling across the Atlantic Ocean, and then they finally landed on Plymouth Rock in Massachusetts in December 1620. They were searching for religious freedom and to explore the New World, just like Juan Ponce de Leon that we learned about earlier. And when they first arrived, it was a harsh winter, and they were hungry and trying to survive, much like the Spaniards when they were colonizing Florida. Now, for the Mayflower, the Separatists received funding from a well-known merchant who agreed to advance the money for their trip. Now, using context clues, can anyone tell me what they think Separatists are, since it's another word for the Pilgrims? Ethan.
People believe that they could do whatever they want, or like they should have their opinion.
Yes, they broke away from their religious masters. Like in England, they broke away from the church because they wanted to be separate and start something new. The Mayflower was purchased by an Englishman, Christopher Jones, and his business partners in 1607. So the ship was there long before the voyage to the New World with the Pilgrims. They traveled through a storm season, so the boat ride was very wet and rocky. Does anyone remember Jean Revolt and what happened to him when he was going to Chelsea?
I think the tornado destroyed the ship and he got stranded and died.
So it changed their path just like the Pilgrims. It held enough people to fill two ships because of the Speedwell incident. This was the other ship that was supposed to come to the New World, and it was too leaky and had too many holes, so they had to pile all those people onto the Mayflower to get over here. And that is how they had it set up. See here, each room was filled, so they didn't have much room. A lot of people got sick, and they were hungry, And so the Indians to the rescue. There was two Wampanoag Indians. Samoset and Squanto went to visit the settlers. Right?
When we were in kindergarten, I was Squanto for a play.
Very nice. So Squanto knew how to speak English because he had experience dealing with the settlers before, so he knew how to help them. He taught the Pilgrims how to grow corn and how to use fish to fertilize their fields. The Wampanoag tribes and the settlers teamed up to protect one another from other tribes and to help harvest for the fall. Now, are these Indians different from any other Indians we learned about earlier? Daniel?
Well, they're probably more nice than the Calusa because the Calusa attacked the other settlers that were trying to pass by, and then the Wampanoags are actually helping the Pilgrims grow.
Yes, very good. And can anyone tell me what a harvest is? Max?
Like when you grow crops.
Okay, very good. The fall. One day in the fall of 1621, the 4 settlers from the English tribe were sent to hunt for food for a harvest celebration. The Wampanoag tribe heard gunshots and they thought they were starting a war with them. So they set their leader, Massasoit, and 90 men to check if the rumor of war was true, which they realized it wasn't. The Indians then saw they were hunting and they sent some of their own people to help hunt the deer. Like they said, 5 deer they got for them. The first Thanksgiving. It's a three-day feast that celebrated the harvest, unlike ours. Ours is only one. The Pilgrims and Wampanoags ate deer, corn, shellfish, and roasted meat, and they played ball games, sang, and danced. Okay, now with your groups, I want you to discuss some of the differences between your Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving from the first Thanksgiving. What they ate, what they did, how it happened, like who you celebrated with. Like, just talk amongst your groups.